Attention passionate Seattle, SEAHAWKS fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle, SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news. Now, imagine the NFL landscape just a few months from now, the offseason winding down, and the buzz around one of the biggest potential moves in recent memory. Yes, you heard right, Trevor Lawrence, the young quarterback who was supposed to be the franchise savior for the Jacksonville Jaguars, could very well find himself donning the midnight green and wolf gray of the Seattle Seahawks. It's a scenario that, if it happens, could reshape the entire NFC West and alter the trajectory of both teams involved. So let's dive deep into this story that has everyone talking, from fans in Jacksonville to the Pacific Northwest, because this isn't just a rumor, it's a real possibility with serious implications. First, let's set the stage. Trevor Lawrence, the former Clemson superstar, was heralded as a generational talent coming out of college. When he was drafted first overall by the Jaguars in 2021, expectations skyrocketed. Fans and analysts alike saw him as a future NFL MVP, a quarterback who could elevate a struggling franchise and lead them to consistent playoff appearances. But, as we all know, reality in the NFL can be a tough pill to swallow. Lawrence's first few seasons, while promising at times, haven't quite lived up to those lofty expectations. The Jaguars, despite flashes of brilliance, have struggled to find stability, and with a new head coach in Liam Cohen, the team is facing a crucial crossroads. The new coaching staff didn't draft Lawrence, which makes the idea of a trade more feasible, especially if the team feels that they need a complete rebuild or a different direction at quarterback. And that's where the Seahawks come into the picture. Since the end of last season, Seattle has been busy retooling their quarterback room, trying to find the right mix to push the team back into Super Bowl contention. Geno Smith, who had a surprisingly solid season in 2024, was traded away, opening up a significant vacancy at the most critical position on the field. The Seahawks responded quickly, bringing in Sam Darnold and Drew Lock in free agency. Darnold, in particular, had a noteworthy season last year, showing flashes of the talent that once made him a top draft pick. But of course, the NFL is a league of consistency, and there's always that lingering question: can he sustain that level of play? And with Drew Lock, while he has a cannon for an arm, he's yet to prove he can be a consistent starter for a team looking to make a serious playoff run. Now here's the crux of the matter. While the Seahawks' offseason moves are interesting, they're still somewhat of a gamble. Darnold might regress, or Lock might not hit the ceiling fans hope for. The Seahawks are in a unique position. They have a young, talented roster and an open window of opportunity to contend for a Super Bowl in the next couple of seasons. But in order to truly capitalize on that window, they need a quarterback who can be a franchise changer, a guy who can elevate the entire team and make the offense unstoppable. Trevor Lawrence, despite some inconsistencies, still has that potential. Over 4 seasons, he's amassed over 300 passing yards and 74 touchdowns. He's only 25 years old, meaning he still has plenty of room to grow and develop into the elite quarterback everyone expected him to become. The move for Lawrence could be a game-changer for Seattle, especially if you consider the offensive system they're building under Clint Kubiak. Kubiak's offense is known for its creative passing schemes and tactical flexibility, which could be just what Lawrence needs to thrive. It's a system that emphasizes quick reads, play action, and a versatile run game, perfect for a quarterback with Lawrence's arm talent and athletic ability. If he gets comfortable and finds his rhythm within this scheme, the Seahawks could have a true superstar leading their offense for years to come. And let's not forget, with the Seahawks' defense already solid, adding a quarterback of Lawrence's caliber would make them a complete team with a real shot at contending for another Super Bowl. So, why would the Jaguars consider trading Trevor Lawrence? Well, the truth is, if they feel that Liam Cohen's system isn't the right fit, or if they're simply looking to reset their franchise, trading Lawrence could be a strategic move. They could receive a hefty package of draft picks and young players, giving them more flexibility to rebuild around a different core. It's a tough call, but sometimes teams have to make these moves when the situation isn't heading in the direction they envisioned. Plus, with the new coaching staff, the Jaguars might be more open to a rebuild, especially if they believe they can find a capable successor or if they're simply looking to accumulate assets for the future. On the flip side, for the Seahawks, acquiring Trevor Lawrence isn't just about filling a quarterback spot, it's about making a bold statement. It's about showing that they're serious contenders and willing to make big moves to get back to their winning ways. It's no secret that Seattle has been chasing that Super Bowl return since losing to the Patriots in Super Bowl XLIX. The team has had its ups and downs since then, but with the right quarterback, they could be on the verge of a new dynasty. Lawrence, with his youth and talent, could be the missing piece to turn the Seahawks' offense into one of the most explosive in the league. Now, let's consider the timeline. The NFL offseason is a whirlwind of rumors, trades, and strategic moves, but if this trade were to happen, it would likely be set in motion during the draft or shortly thereafter. The Seahawks would have to weigh the cost, what they're willing to give up to land a quarterback like Lawrence, and whether the Jaguars would accept their offer. Given the talent that Lawrence possesses and the potential for him to become a perennial Pro Bowler, it's safe to say that Seattle might have to part with some valuable assets, perhaps draft picks, or even some young players that are already making an impact. And what about the impact on the division? Well, a Seahawks team led by Trevor Lawrence instantly becomes a serious contender in the NFC West. They'd have a dynamic quarterback who can extend plays, make throws on the run, and lead a high-powered offense. This could make them a nightmare for rival defenses. Meanwhile, the Jaguars, on the other hand, would be left to figure out their next move, possibly focusing on development or a different franchise quarterback in the upcoming draft or free agency. Throughout this entire saga, one thing is clear: both teams are looking to maximize their chances of winning now and in the future. The Seahawks, with their young core, are eyeing that elusive Super Bowl title, and Trevor Lawrence represents a real opportunity to do that. For the Jaguars, it's about rebuilding and reshaping their franchise around a new vision, possibly with a different quarterback or a fresh approach. So as fans, we have to stay tuned because this story isn't over. The NFL offseason is full of surprises, and a trade of this magnitude would send shockwaves through the league. It's a scenario that, if it plays out, could define the next decade for both teams involved. The Seahawks, with their rich history and passionate fanbase, would welcome Lawrence with open arms, hoping he can be the franchise quarterback they've been searching for since Russell Wilson's departure. The Jaguars, meanwhile, face a new chapter. Whether they decide to keep Lawrence or move him, either way, the future is uncertain, and that's what makes this offseason so exciting. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe Trevor Lawrence would be the perfect fit for the Seahawks? Would you be willing to give up some draft capital to bring him in? Or do you think the Jaguars should hold on to him and try to make it work with their current roster? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seahawks. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seattle Seahawks news. This offseason is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and with moves like these, we're all in for a wild ride. Thanks for sticking with me, and as always, go Seahawks.